Hello everybody. I know this is a little bit of a jump scare because I've never even done curlers myself and I look psychotic. I look a little crazy and I have no clue how this is going to turn out. I thought we'd do a little get ready with me, and so here we are in my bathroom. I love watching get ready with me is just because I get to see what products people are using, but then also I get to hear them speak about things that maybe I don't think about, or even things that do pertain to me but I just never thought of asking those questions. Just talk a little bit about adulting, making friends, being in your 20s, because girl knows about it, because now I'm in my like mid-late 20s. I'm 26 if you don't know. I'm expiring. I'm kidding. There's honestly nothing wrong with aging. I'm using some Milk, what is this? Hydro Grip primer. I've never gotten ready with my hair like this and it's borderline kind of driving me insane because there's like little baby hairs that keep flying everywhere. My skin is still having like contact dermatitis or eczema, whatever you want to call it. Kind of flares up and kind of goes away. I haven't seen a doctor yet, which I probably should see a doctor. e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. You guys know which one I'm talking about. So yeah, first thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is like living with your boyfriend, living with roommates. I went to school that was like 2.5 hours away from my parents' place, so I did not stay at home during university. In my summers of 3rd and 4th year, I actually ended up going to Alberta. I basically didn't live at home for like a long time, I want to say. Pandemic kind of came and I was working for my parents partially and working at the vets partially. It just made sense for me to live at home if I was going to be working with my parents. Also, I just applied the COVERGIRL Clean Matte BB Cream for oily skin. I've always seen this and wanted to try it, but just like never tried it. But I really like it. If you actually do have oily skin, it works really well. Almost too matte to the point where I have to apply some sort of like glowy base. I have like combination skin, I want to say. So sometimes when I do like all matte, it just like does not look natural and looks like a little bit too much like makeup. Like I was saying, I hadn't been living at home for a while, and then obviously when I started working for my parents, it just made more sense for me to kind of move back home, live with them, work with them, and spend more time with them. Obviously, living with your parents as an adult is very different from like living with your parents as a child or a teenager. So it's kind of hard to just be around my parents when I'm trying to make adult decisions and spend time with people that they may not know. And you know, parents naturally gravitate towards being protective and like wanting to know what you want to do. As an adult, sometimes that can be very annoying because you're like, what the fuck? I'm an adult. Let me do what I want to do. That's just like a little background about like how I came about living with Aiden. And if you guys don't know, Aiden is my boyfriend. Long story short, we dated for a while and then we broke up and then we kind of got back together during the pandemic. But in regards to like having some tips about living with your boyfriend, going back to my point about how Aiden and I have actually known each other for so long, I think it's kind of a double-edged sword because sometimes when you are so comfortable with someone, sometimes you can get a little lazy, get a little bit too comfortable, and then you end up kind of assuming things and expecting things from the other person. Communication is an ongoing thing regardless of how long you guys have been together. Very important, and something that we both reflected on before getting back together. And if you are ever thinking about getting back together with your ex, like think long and hard about it. Your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather, your great-grandmother, like that's just too much for everyone. Wow, this skin combination is stunning. I don't know if you guys can see like that well just because like the lighting isn't the best if I go really close. I'm sweating. And then also it's just like understanding your partner too. For example, Aiden is like super laid back. Like he doesn't really have like a schedule most days, whereas I'm very routine. I'm more type A. Aiden, because of how laid back he is, he's willing to kind of just like go along with it if it makes me feel like less anxious or less antsy. For the most part, Aiden's like very understanding of like why I want to do things, why I am the way I am, and I think that comes from just knowing each other for so long, but then also just understanding I know Aiden's super laid back, not nitpicking. I am still sometimes like just a huge nitpicker. I don't know why I feel the need or urge to say something. I try really hard not to like nitpick things. Aiden is literally such a perfect little sweetheart and he like never does anything wrong really, and he's always trying to be so accommodating to me. So when I do get upset about really stupid little things, I'm just like, why am I like this? Like, why am I upset right now? I hate the feeling of makeup on my fingers. Understanding your significant other's personality and kind of seeing like what's tolerable for the two of you. Sometimes like there's certain things that I want to do right away that Aiden can't. Like he just like cannot, and I have to understand that. And it's a lot about give and take. I think a lot of the times miscommunication comes from just like not really understanding why the person is being that way. And I think most people don't really act out of spite or hate or negativity. It's usually just like a misunderstanding that occurs. But I don't know. because, you know, some people are fucked. We're friends. Like, it doesn't have to be as complicated as people make it seem when you are living with your significant other. We don't really believe in 50-50 because I feel like there's like never anything that's like even. Doing 50-50, you would have to be making the same income, you'd have to be doing the same amount of chores, you'd have to be using the same like mental labor, everything like that, and it's just like not realistic. For example, like Aiden does make more money than I do. He doesn't pay for everything, and I definitely pay for the things that I own and the things that I want to spend my money on, but he does pay for some things more than I do. Like our rent is definitely not split evenly. I end up doing more of the cooking, and it's not that Aiden doesn't want to do the cooking and he's offered to do the cooking. It's that I personally prefer to do the cooking myself. Aiden might buy more of the groceries, but I am doing more of the cooking. Also, I'm using the Rare Beauty contour or bronzer stick in Happy Soul. I feel like that's the only shade that anyone ever talks about, but it's so good. It's so creamy, blends on so well. But damn, this like skin combination is like so pretty. I don't know if it's the primer because I usually don't use that primer because there's a couple times it kept fucking up my foundation and then I just like never wanted to use it. So yeah, I don't really believe in 50-50. If your partner wants you to split 50-50 and they make more than you and you do all the cooking and stuff like that, I think they should really reevaluate how much work goes into like maintaining a home, doing all those things. Like it takes a lot out of you. I'm really grateful because Aiden is actually probably more clean than I am. Make sure you guys do talk about finances because I feel like it's very important if you are living with your significant other. I'm so thirsty today. Aiden and I would spend so much time together when we were younger because I was clingy and that was all on me. Couldn't help it because I had no hobbies. Truthfully, I had no hobbies. Also on top of that, I just didn't like that he liked hanging out with other people, and that sounds really stupid and kind of seems borderline psychotic, but I feel like if you've ever felt that way, it's more like you resent yourself because they don't have as much fun with you, if that makes sense. I've seen so many girls or people talk about how they kind of get jealous at the fact or envious at the fact that their boyfriend or significant other kind of like has so much fun with someone else versus like with them. Although you live together, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to spend every freaking second together. I think one of the biggest things for me is that because I was so clingy at one point, I think coming back into the relationship, like I just felt very safe already. If he wanted to tell me something, he would tell me something. I don't need to pry at him in order for him to tell me something. It's his responsibility. He's an adult. But for the most part, just like, yeah, respecting that your partner has a life outside of you. I would just like to hope that your partner prioritizes you in some way, shape, or form. So many times where he's asked me to go out to do something and I've just said no because I'm not interested, and that's not something I would have done like 5 years ago. I feel like this makes me sound so bad, but I feel like a lot of people experience. My eczema do be acting up over here though. And I'm using the Merit blush in Stockholm. It's so pretty. If you guys want a discount, link in bio. It's not sponsored. I just really like this shade. Another thing that I've really noticed people complain about when they live with their boyfriends or even like their roommates, honestly, like everyone is going to have different standards of cleanliness. Unfortunately, some people's standards are really disgusting and like you literally are like, what the fuck? There's a dog on my floor who always barks. I've literally heard girlfriends say that their boyfriend will say something about their place being not clean, even though the boyfriend hasn't even tried to clean. I would fucking lose it. Fucking move out. Am I just so uptight? Like, are my standards just like crazy a little bit? Using NARS Laguna just as a bronzer. I just know I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I would resent that person. I would get mad and I just wouldn't have fun with them anymore. And I don't want that in a relationship. I love a good bronzer. You can kind of like train your boyfriend though, using some like reverse psychology, do positive reinforcement on them every single time they put away a dish. Try it. I don't fucking know. I don't have that issue. I'm gonna contour my nose because she needs it. I have no nose bridge. Adulting is a lot harder than I thought. Like there's just so much to it. There's always like something to do around the house, a chore or something that you don't want to do. Like I'm fucking tired every day. I just want to lay down, but I can't because I have so much stuff to do. The rent is expensive, utilities are expensive, Wi-Fi is expensive. There's just so many costs associated with being an adult as well. Some of you guys might be like, oh my god, you're so spoiled. You didn't have to do any of this until you're 25. I know. Living with your parents as an adult is also just as hard. Basically, when you move out, you give away your financial freedom because you're paying so much for rent, utilities, whatever, for just some like mental wealth. I don't fucking know. And then if you live at home with your parents, you give up your mental health to have financial wealth. I personally don't do any of the bills. Aiden kind of controls all the bills and stuff like that, and then I transfer him. Auto payments will save your fucking life. Truthfully, I just would not remember like to pay things. Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Party, which is, I think, was a birthday gift one year. I love a blushy blush moment. When you become an adult and you live on your own, set a routine right from the start, because the second that you move in somewhere or you start being an adult or something like that, and you like start off your routine with being lazy, being dirty, not cleaning, like all this stuff, it's really, really hard to kind of like snap out of it. We don't have a routine, but we just like understand that like if something looks messy, like to clean it, and that like when I cook, Aiden cleans, or vice versa. Trying to get yourself in order right from the start, right from the get-go. Becca highlight in Opal. It's so sad that Becca doesn't even exist anymore. Like, what the heck? Like, I remember when Becca was like legit the most hyped highlighter. What was the really popular shade? Champagne Pop. Actually, Aiden bought it for me the year it came out for my birthday. Okay, time for the browsy brows. I'm taking Merit's eyebrow gel just in a clear shade. Also, another thing about being an adult is that you have to spend your money on adult things that aren't fun things, and so that requires a little bit of budgeting and understanding like how much money you have. Not fun, but definitely necessary. I've set up like pre-authorized payments for my TFSA, which is a tax-free savings account, and then also an RSP, which is a retirement savings plan. So that money is basically not touchable each month. I would highly recommend that if you aren't financially literate, educate yourself in your spare time instead of laying on the couch eating chips and doing fuck all and scrolling on TikTok. That's what I did for a really long time, and I feel like they don't really teach you financial literacy, unfortunately, in school, even though it is like so helpful. Kosas eyebrow gel in black brown. Budgeting sheet, important. Just do it. It'll give you a little bit of anxiety at first, but it's well worth it. You should know how much money you're spending on things. Another thing about adulting is that you have to feed yourself. You gotta ask yourself, hey Heather, what's for dinner? Which fucking sucks some days. I'm using the NYX Professional Makeup Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in ash brown. Meal prepping and planning what you're gonna be eating that week and buying all that stuff at the grocery store. If you have food in your fridge, you're less likely to order Uber Eats or just takeout in general. Well, I'd hope that you're not wasting your fucking groceries, because that shit ain't cheap. It's all very important. It's all about the prep. It's all about setting routines, like I said. You can stick to like really easy meals. You don't have to make like crazy elaborate like 5-star meals. Thinking about like places that you usually like to eat, replicating their food, because then you get excited about it and you obviously get to eat something tasty after. Recently, I made a cheddar broccoli soup that is like a dupe for Panera's. If you guys don't know, broccoli cheddar soup from Panera slaps. It's like the best soup. SEPHORA makeup setting spray. I like the Charlotte Tilbury one, but it's just really expensive, and I heard this one was a good like dupe for it. The amount of cheddar and butter and all this shit in this soup traumatized me. I've never even consumed that much cheese in my life. As you continue to like learn about cooking and like food and all that stuff, apply your knowledge to new recipes and like kind of spruce them up how you'd like them. Some people just fucking hate cooking, and that's just how it is. So I'm texting my friend, she's coming soon, and I'm like, I need to hurry up because I don't want her to see me film. Another thing I wanted to talk about that has been like more prevalent, more so in my life, and I'm sure in a lot of people's lives who use social media, impulse shopping. I feel like I have been impulse shopping so much more recently, and I think it's really due to the fact of TikTok. Like, TikTok really does and do be having the power. I need an eye primer. My eyelids are really fucking greasy all the time. NART smudge proof, and I just use the clear one. It's just so hard when we're scrolling on TikTok and like videos of people trying on things that look so good on them come up, and it's like, it's just so hard to not want to buy them. Understanding how social media affects our decisions and like purchasing mentality. For me, one of my biggest things is waiting 2 weeks. I know recently I did not do this with a Rare Beauty thing, but most times I do wait like 2 weeks in order to purchase something because I want to make sure that I actually want it. And also just like understanding if you're going to use it. It's such like an obvious thing, but I feel like a lot of us do buy things and then end up not using them. Just shop less frequently and only buying things I actually really need. I also wait for sales. Like, what's the point of paying full price for anything realistically? Everyone always talks about the Shiseido eyelash curler. If you have like almond eyes, or you like the Shiseido one, or it's really expensive and whatever. Basically, one time I forgot my eyelash curler and Aiden went across the street and he got one from Shoppers for me. This is my new favorite eyelash curler, and I have the Shiseido one. I can confidently say that this is my favorite. It just like fits my eye so well. Oh, did I even tell you guys where it was from? It's from Quo. It's from Shoppers Drug Mart. Also, another thing, if you're Canadian, you can get it. If you're American, you might not be able to get it. BRB really quickly because I'm just gonna do my mascara. Okay, hello. I'm back now. Aiden's home too. I said I wanted a shaft, and this man was prepared to make me a shaft. If you guys don't know what a shaft is, it's almost like a cheap version of an espresso martini.
No, it's the exact same thing, really. Cold brew instead of espresso.
I used to have them when I lived out west, but it's not a thing here in Toronto or Ontario. But yeah, so Aiden fully went to Starbucks, bought a cold brew, and then went to the liquor store because in Ontario, the only place that can sell liquor is the LCBO, and they're always closed on holidays. Tightline my eyeballs with the Essence Espresso Brown. Now I'm just drinking some cold brew. This is essentially the finished look. I don't think I have anything else to add. I'm gonna line my lips a tiny smidgen bit. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. Where'd my sharpener go? 1 second, people. Sharpen that. If you guys want a good lip liner, eyeliner, whatever sharpener, I would recommend the Essence one. It's like $2 or something, but it always works really well. Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oil in Hope. I want the matching blush. Now I'm gonna take out my hair. I wanna do a live reaction. Okay, let's do the bottom pieces. I don't even know how to get these out of my hair. Did this one even have a clip? Whoa, that's so pretty. I'm so excited. Like, these 2 pieces already look so good. I'm excited to see the top pieces. I feel like if I like this, it's gonna be dangerous because I'm just gonna want to do this all the time. Okay, we got some volume going on in the back there. I'm gonna use the Olaplex oil because that is my favorite. One side of my head has a cowlick and the other side does not. My hair looks so like nice and like voluminous, you know? I didn't actually wash my hair today. I just like dampened it to style it. Oh my god, this lighting, I'm so sorry. It keeps like switching up when it wants to. What are we thinking? This is the finished look for now. I will be back once I put on clothes that I like. This is gonna be my completed outfit. I tried on some of your pants.
Can you put them back?
Yes, I put them back. This shirt makes my boobies feel uncomfortable. My shop is from...
Your shop?
My shirt, sorry. My shirt is from Dolls Kill, and then these are thrifted jeans. Kind of like the light wash jeans for spring. What shoes should I wear?
No.
That's the end of my get ready with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. My makeup is slaying today. My hair is a little crazy, but it's okay, it'll settle. I'm walking to the restaurant with Nicole, so that'll calm it down.